All right, somebody not getting talked about as much, but it would be a big move. John Collins, Avery, what's a top destination for him?
Well, John Collins, I think he'll have a little bit more of a market uh, than a Kyrie Irving for different reasons. But, you know, when you look at a team like the Washington Wizards, I think that could be a destination for John Collins. Of course, we've heard Portland in the mix because at the end of the day, I think the Wizards should have traded Bradley Beal a long time ago. I'm happy that he got a max, especially as a former player. But for them to continue to try to take that next step, I don't believe they're even a play-in team right now. They made the move for Kristaps Porzingis. So whether he's included in this trade or they try to pair Porzingis with Collins on that front line to go with Bradley Beal, it maybe would inch them more towards a play-in team. But Collins has a little bit more of a market than you believe. And I'm just thinking that the Wizards could be a solid landing spot for him to be kind of that 1-2 pick and roll combination with Bradley Beal, with Collins setting that screen, Beal coming off of it. Collins is a much improved outside shooter. So the Washington Wizards could be a spot for John Collins.
John Collins still with 4 years left on his 5-year, $125 million contract with Atlanta. Bill, what would the Wizards need to give up in order to get him?
Yeah, by the way, I'm with Coach. I think John Collins is a good player, and that contract feels very reasonable as new contracts and new salaries take hold, this year and the years that are going to happen ahead. So it's going to have to be a first-round pick. Obviously, it's going to have to be attached. I think Avdi is going to have to be a part of that pick. Kuzma. I mean, it's going to be a lot of players. But Washington, I think, isn't afraid to make these kind of moves, guys, and make these kinds of trades. Because as Coach just talked about, Bradley Beal probably should have gone somewhere else. He didn't. He was loyal, and he took the money. I think it's both. And so now Washington's got to absolutely retool. And I think Coach is right, too. This is one of the possible spots. But there's going to be a market in a real way for John Collins if, as is expected, Travis Schlenk, who runs basketball operations for the Hawks, just decides that it doesn't work with John Collins and that team, which really reads as Trae Young. They just, for whatever reason, they don't get along. They don't play particularly well on the floor together. And there's a sense around the NBA that Collins' ceiling in the right spot is much higher. So that may drive the price even higher than what we just talked about. And I want to say this, shout out to all the guys, that crack, absolute top class producing crew there in Florida who help with all of these moves, because these are great decisions by you, Avery, but they are not, I promise, they're not easy to accomplish.
I was going to say thanks to Coach Avery Johnson, HQ GM Bill Reiter, and our little GMs behind the scene. They're going to be mad at me that I said little GMs. Our massive, dominant GMs behind the scenes, Jack and Ruben. Great segment, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you very soon. Maybe one of these deals is going to happen soon. Best remaining free agents out there. James Harden still is not signed to deal with the 76ers, although that is anticipated. DeAndre Ayton, Colin Sexton, Montrezl Harrell, however, could all find new homes potentially. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.